Welcome to the Natural Podcast, where we explore the depths of holistic health, uncovering the interconnectedness of our emotions, mind, body, and spirit. This podcast is dedicated to individuals who are on a quest to uncover their truth, understanding their genetic and spiritual DNA, and learning how to harness this knowledge to achieve optimal health. But this isn't just another health podcast. Natural Podcast is here to ignite a spark of hope within you, reminding you of your innate potential for greatness. You are pure love, capable of living life to its fullest expression. Are you ready to embark on a transformational journey to achieve optimal health? Welcome to the Natural Podcast. I am absolutely excited. Like always, I think I start every episode with, I'm so excited. It's because I actually am. I really am. I love this platform. I love this podcast. I love that I'm given the opportunity to share my knowledge and share what's happening in this mind of mine and share the research that I do nearly every day, share my education with you. So I'm very, very blessed to have this platform. And I want to put that out there. That's the energy I want to put out there, is that I'm blessed and I'm so excited. Today's episode is going to continue on from last week, which is talking a little bit more about Virgo. And what I wanted to really focus on was digestion. I know a lot of individuals have been having issues or hiccups with digestion through Virgo season because Virgo rules the small intestine, the absorption of minerals and vitamins, which is vital for us. If we don't absorb these minerals and vitamins, we may eat them, like we may eat this food, but if we don't absorb them, well, what's the point? That's why a lot of people are like, I eat really healthy and I'm so healthy. And it's like we examine them and we go, wow, you're really low in zinc. And it's like, why is that? Or wow, you're really low in magnesium, you're really low in B vitamins, you're really low in this or that. And it's like, well, why is that? It's because your body isn't absorbing it. Us humans assume that as soon as we put something in our body, we absorb it. Can we get that? Can we rewrite that? That's not true. Everything that goes into our mouth isn't always absorbed. It all depends on so many different factors inside of your body. One of them being your stomach acid, absolutely necessary. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, stomach acid, mine's too high, I have too much stomach acid. Oh, that could be another conversation. I'm not really going to touch on that today. It's not because I'll go down a rabbit hole. What I really want to talk about today is digestion overall, and little tips and hints that you can implement in your everyday life before you eat, after you eat, that may be able to assist you actually absorb those minerals and vitamins. So, first question is are you absorbing the minerals and vitamins? Do you have any symptoms of low B vitamins, low vitamin C, magnesium, zinc, iodine, you name it? Do you have any symptoms of those? And if you do, it's like, well, what is happening? Are you, one, not including foods high in those minerals and vitamins in your diet? Two, are you actually not absorbing them? Or three, do you not have the cofactors to assist with opening up the door and letting them in? So there's so many things that could potentially go wrong. And let's start off with the journey of food. Like, I absolutely love my food, and I'm pretty sure you do too. As soon as you smell the food, you get excited, you see the food. All of that is part of the journey of food. Let's start at the start, right? Like, even growing your own food is part of digestion, in my eyes anyway. A lot of people will be like, I don't grow my own food, and that's okay. We can look at then where you get your food from. That's all start of digestion. So is it at a farm? Is it at a shop? What is it surrounded with? Does it have soil on it? Does it not have soil on it? Is it local? Is it international? Like, where do you get your food from? Because that all has to do with how well you're going to digest it. So let's say we go to the shops, we go to the farm, we get our food, we come home, we store the food. That's another thing is like, where do you store your food? Do you freeze it? Do you put it in the fridge? Is it on the counter? That all has to do with how well you're going to absorb it. I'm trying to paint a picture here so you get an understanding of it's not just when you put the food in your mouth that counts with absorption. It starts over here. It literally starts all the way down here. Yep, so we come home, we store the food, hopefully well and fresh. Ideally, we literally go to the farm or we go into our backyard, we pick the food and we cook with it there and there. That's ideal. And I know a lot of people are like, that's not going to happen, Mihaela. And that's okay. That's okay. We're going with ideal here, and we can always adjust with what suits your lifestyle. So then what we do is we start cooking, right? That's another thing. A lot of people don't cook. You may not cook. I may not cook every day. So we got the food, we start cooking it. As soon as we start cooking that food, our senses sense that we are prepping food. We smell it, we hear the chopping board, we see it, we start salivating. This is all helping with absorption of the minerals and vitamins in the food. This is all the process of digestion. As we're cooking it, like I'm drooling right now. I don't know about you, whatever you're thinking about, what food you're thinking about. I'm drooling right now thinking about it and being like, yep, I'm chopping those veggies, I'm putting them in the pan, I'm mixing it up with some olive oil or some coconut oil, or some people use butter, whatever it is that you use, herbs, spices, and cooking it all together. Just that smell, the whole flavorsome, the whole cooking is just, it's so beautiful and it's so good for our digestion. So then we've made the meal, and so that's maybe taken about 20 minutes. Let's say 20 minutes. You've had 20 minutes to start your digestion process. You didn't just go through drive-through and buy your food. That would have taken, I don't know, depends how fast they are, depends how big the line is, 5 minutes. This has taken already 20 minutes of you preparing yourself. Then you sit down. So we sit down and we look at our food, and hopefully, I don't know what you do, you look at it and you're so grateful for it. You're absolutely grateful for the food, for the abundance in front of you, for the farmer that has planted, the farmer may be you, that has planted this food, that's the person that's picked the food, that may be you, the person that's transported the food, the person that's, all these energies have gone into this production of this food in front of you. So the least that we can do is sit there and take a breath and be grateful, be thankful for this food, because that's the energy that we're putting on it. And this all still has to do with digestion. Yes, it does. You might be thinking, Mihaela, like, what are you talking about? This all still has to do with digestion and absorption of your minerals and vitamins. Because what's happening is, when we look at that food, when we take a deep breath, we calm our nervous system. We calm it, we let it know it's safe. We let it know that it's okay to produce saliva. It's okay to produce hyaluronic acid. It's okay to eat. It's safe. Because if it's not, cortisol goes through the roof, and we don't produce enough stomach acid, hyaluronic acid. We don't produce enough of it. So therefore, we can't break down the food. So therefore, we can't absorb the minerals and vitamins. So we really want to, I know a lot of cultures, they pray before they eat. You may not be religious, but think about what is it that you can do? What can you put into place to look at this food and just be grateful and thankful, even if it's just looking at it and being like, wow, I'm fucking blessed. I'm so blessed to have this food in front of me. All right, so then you grab your fork, knife, even your hands, and this is the thing is like, I love eating with my hands. I absolutely love it, especially salads. I get in there, right? Most of the time, I don't have a knife and a fork. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's getting your fingers, your hands involved in this food. How beautiful is that? You're touching it, you're getting involved, and then you're putting it in your mouth, right? I know a lot of cultures actually eat with their hands. Think about why they do that. It's because they're involved in the food. They're sensing it, they're touching it. So therefore, the body is getting signals left, right, and center saying, you are safe to produce hydrochloric acid, you are able to digest this food. So we put it in our mouth, and when we put it in our mouth, what happens then? Do you chew? Do you chew your food? Do you count how many times you chew your food? What happens? Do you actually get your food to be in a mushy form so you're able to swallow it? Or do you just go, swallow, and then go for it and eat fast? Another thing is also like, where are you when you are eating? Are you in front of a TV? Are you in front of a person? Are you on the floor? Are you on the table? Are you on the couch? Are you surrounded with all this noise? Where are you when you eat? Preferably it will be a calm environment, a loving environment where you feel safe. You can, now thinking about it, you can see all the things that could go wrong in a way through the whole pathway of digestion. So yeah, there's so many things that could potentially go wrong with it. So now we are here, we've put the food in our mouth. Hopefully we've chewed it enough for it to be into mush form, into like baby form. And you've taken a deep breath and you swallow it, and hopefully it makes its way through the stomach to the small intestine, and in there it's able to absorb the minerals and vitamins. We need to make sure that we have enough stomach acid to absorb it, and that's the key also, enough stomach acid. It's like, do we have enough of zinc, B12 to make the stomach acid? So these are all things that we need to take in consideration. So it doesn't just start with putting food in your mouth and there you go, I eat healthy, off you go. It's about thinking the start of the food story, the start of the journey of food. Where did it start and how is it going for you? What areas isn't... Hello, Sadie. She's come to say hello. Sadie's my dog, by the way. She pops into the podcast sometimes. She just wants cuddles and says hello. So the thing is, where was I? Yes, I was about talking about food. Of course I was. Is where in that journey do you potentially, could you do more of, or could you stop and reflect and go, ooh, I'm not doing that at the moment? Where can you reflect and say, I can do better? Is it at where you're getting your food from? Is it where you're storing your food? How you're transporting your food? Cooking your food? Preparing your food? Actually sitting down and being grateful? Being in a calm environment? Being surrounded by love when you are eating? Being thankful? Chewing your food? I've just named like 10 things. There's 10 little things that you can put into place, and none of them cost anything. I haven't sold you any supplements. I haven't told you to take a supplement. I literally have not told you to take a herb or a supplement to digest better. I've given you things that are free that you can do right now, put into place to digest better and absorb, not just digest, but absorb, because this is what Virgo is all about, is absorbing those minerals and vitamins. So in this season, put in a routine, put in some things in place so you're able to digest better. So I hope that you kind of got a bit of a picture of digestion and absorption and what you can put into place to ensure that you're actually getting the beautiful minerals and vitamins from the food that you are absorbing. All right, cool. Now let's move into a research study. This research study is quite interesting. I've chosen it because it kind of goes... It's not the outcome that I wanted from this study. I love reading research studies that go against what I believe. It makes me question things, it makes me think outside the box, and makes me be a better practitioner and be a better individual to get information out to you, because I will think of all the different aspects. Okay, anyway, so the study is called Relationship Between Vitamins and Diabetes, and it was published online in 2023 in March. The review article aims to examine the relationship between specific vitamins and type 2 diabetes, so specific to type 2 diabetes. Individuals with diabetes have been observed to have lower levels of specific antioxidant vitamins, such as vitamin A, C, and E. And this is a research study saying that this possibly may be due to the oxidative stress caused by glucose metabolic abnormalities that are found in type 2 diabetes, which is really interesting. So this research study looked at all the minerals and vitamins, and it was kind of like, okay, well, are there any multivitamins or any minerals and vitamins that you can take for type 2 diabetes? Because they have identified that individuals do have lower minerals and vitamins, especially these antioxidants, in type 2 diabetes. So it's like, well, would a multivitamin help with this? It's quite interesting. And then most people who have type 2 diabetes have been giving metformin. They've been giving metformin, and it's like, what effect does metformin also have on these minerals and vitamins? These research studies are amazing. So what this is saying now, let's go to metformin. It's saying that although metformin is preferred treatment for type 2 diabetes, it has been found to limit the absorption of certain nutrients, including vitamin B9, known as folate, and vitamin B12. And it says it is recommended supplementation of these nutrients for people with diabetes, which is quite interesting. And the reason isn't because of the type 2 diabetes, it's because these people are taking the metformin, which is limiting the absorption of these two. And the interesting thing is I spoke about stomach acid just earlier. For you to make stomach acid, you need a good amount of vitamin B12. If you're on metformin, Are you making the link? Your B12 goes down. What else goes down? Your stomach acid, your absorption of minerals and vitamins, which is not the most beneficial thing if you have type 2 diabetes. Anyway, this research study actually concluded that the effectiveness of multivitamins has produced inconsistent results, and there are no clear guidelines for vitamin supplementations on individuals with type 2 diabetes, which is really, really interesting. It's saying, there's no vitamins or minerals for you to take to help with type 2 diabetes. However, people who use metformin for extended periods of time may benefit with B9, folate, and B12 supplements. But let's think about this study. Really interesting. It's saying that people who have diabetes are lower in these minerals and vitamins, but the research has been inconsistent. So it's quite interesting to actually look at what did they use? What type of multivitamins did they use? How much? So this is where the gaps are, and this is where, I love research studies, but this was a good one to look at because it was kind of like, okay, cool, you're saying that minerals and vitamins alone however, the research is inconsistent. So all I'm saying is think about outside the box. If these minerals and vitamins are low in someone with type 2 diabetes, then what food can you eat? What wholesome food can you eat to increase, in particular with this research study, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E? So many foods I can think of. Vitamin A, all those orange foods, sweet potato, carrot, you name it. Vitamin C, kiwi, red capsicum, you name it. There's so many beautiful foods that you can take that may be able to assist you. The other thing is also, I'll chuck in there a bonus study, which was called Vitamin D and Risk of Type 2 Diabetes in People with Pre-Diabetic, a systematic review and meta-analysis of individuals' participants' data from 3 randomized trials. And this was in 2023. So the purpose of this was to evaluate whether administration of vitamin D decreases risk for diabetes among people who are pre-diabetic. Interesting as vitamin D is like the most simplest form. It's a hormone. It's not even a vitamin, but anyway, we won't talk about that. And it's talking about, will it help someone who's pre-diabetic? So you're not diabetic yet. Can vitamin D help? So the interesting part is the conclusion was in adults with pre-diabetes, vitamin D was effective in decreasing risk for diabetes. Boom. That is mind-blowing. I love this. Okay, so if you are pre-diabetic, someone is pre-diabetic, share this episode with them, share this research with them, get them to check their vitamin D levels. What are their vitamin D levels like? Can they take vitamin D? Talk to a health professional always. Don't listen to my advice. This literally, I'm telling you, do not listen to my advice. I do not know your circumstances. I don't know who you are. I don't know what medication you're on or not on, or supplements, or what's going on. Don't listen to me. I'm just providing information that you can take and share with your health professional. So this was amazing research looking at, is vitamin D effective for people with pre-diabetes? So to kind of wrap it up, gave you 2 research studies. One saying potentially someone with type 2 diabetes has lower minerals and vitamins. Okay. It didn't recommend multivitamins or minerals to take. It did recommend vitamin B12 and B9, folate for individuals who are taking metformin. And then this research study said if you are pre-diabetic, vitamin D was effective in decreasing the risk for you to actually developing diabetes. So what I'm trying to get here is for you to understand the role of minerals and vitamins in type 2 diabetes. It is an absolutely huge role. And if you know someone who has type 2 diabetes or is about to get type 2 diabetes, is on the borderline, share this with them. This is amazing research that needs to be shared, and there's so much more research out there that individuals can educate themselves on. Work with a health professional that understands you, that understands minerals and vitamins, that understands type 2 diabetes. All right, I'm wrapping it up here for today. Thank you so much for listening to me blab on about things I love and I'm passionate about. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Probably the best on Instagram at the Natural Health Podcast, and I'll try and get back to you as quick as much as I can, noting that I'm not your naturopath. I am not your healthcare professional, so I can't provide advice, but I'll try my best to assist in any way I can. Thank you for joining us at Natural Health Podcast, and remember, you are pure love, capable of living life to its fullest expression.
Content and information provided here is opinion of Mihaela and is for information purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. It is not intended to provide medical advice or take the place of medical advice or any current treatment you're undertaking. Consult your own medical professionals for any medical issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the Natural Health Podcast. It is advised that you consult your doctor or healthcare professional in relation to any health concerns you may be having. Mihaela does not take responsibility for any health consequences which occur from a person listening, viewing, or reading this content. And in the circumstances shall the Natural Health Podcast, Mihaela, any guests or contributors to the Natural Health Podcast, or any employees, associates, or affiliates of Mihaela be responsible for damages arising from the information provided on the Natural Health Podcast. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as medical advice to treat any medical conditions in either yourself or others. Please note, if you're taking prescription, do not stop your medication or start a new protocol, including but not limited to supplements, diet, lifestyle changes without consulting a doctor or healthcare professional. If you or any person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek other professional medical advice. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have read or heard on the Natural Health Podcast or in any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. Neither Mihaela nor the publisher of this content takes responsibility for the possible health consequences of any person or persons reading or listening or following the information in the educational content.